In this short video, I'm gonna give you tips on how to start a keto diet in 2021. What's so special about the year 2021? It's been a crazy year. So many of us are working from home now. There are national lockdowns and self-isolation. Gyms are closed. The year 2021 is a perfect time for starting a low-carb keto diet. I'll shortly explain what is a low-carb keto diet, how to do it right. I'll share the secret to making a low-carb keto diet your new lifestyle, explain what foods to eat and what foods to avoid, and share a few examples of my low-carb keto meals. By the way, if you're new to my YouTube channel, my name is Greta and I'm an online nutritionist and a health coach. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I have a responsibility to show you how to start a low-carb keto diet correctly and don't go the dirty keto road. Remember that dirty keto is not healthy, so don't swap high-carb junk food for eating high-fat junk food. You will still have a lot of inflammation, a lot of free radicals, and you won't get all the amazing benefits that keto diet offers. So the quality of diet matters more than anything. So first things first, a low-carb keto diet is a diet low in carbohydrates, high in fat, and moderate in protein. The typical macros could be 75% of your calories from fat, 5% from carbs, and 20% from protein. Remember, keto is not a high-protein diet, so don't go and eat 3 sausages, 2 eggs, and 3 strips of bacon for lunch. That is simply way too much protein. Your daily carb intake should be somewhere around 50 grams of net carbs a day. Net carbs if you're in countries such as the US, and 50 grams of carbs a day if you're in the UK. It's the same figure, just called differently. And your carb sources should always be healthy. Well, why am I saying that? I see most people using their daily carbs for foods such as low-carb bread or buns, various cakes and bars, and unhealthy sauces. Foods such as low-carb bread should be treated as an occasional treat, not a part of a daily low-carb keto diet. Your daily 50 grams of carbs should be coming from non-starchy veggies, berries, nuts, and seeds. This will make your low-carb keto diet much healthier. Now, how to make a low-carb keto diet sustainable? I know many people start the keto diet thinking that they only want to lose a certain amount of weight in, let's say, 30 days, and then they're gonna go back to eating bread, pasta, rice, and potatoes. What you have to understand is that for any results to last, your lifestyle change also has to last. Doing keto for 30 days is the same as any other diet you would follow for a short period of time. You lose weight, you go back to your old eating habits, and regain the weight back. It is very important that you would follow a low-carb keto lifestyle long-term. If you do it right, you do it in a healthy way. You're not gonna only lose weight, you're gonna feel great. You'll have so much more energy and mental clarity. You'll be a new person. Before starting keto, I didn't know what being healthy means. I thought always feeling hungry and tired after meals is normal. I thought being bloated 24/7 is normal. I thought having brain fog is normal. I thought that's just how my brain is. After 4 years of doing keto, I no longer think that was normal. Having so much more energy, focus, being able to work until late hours, not feeling hungry, tired, or being bloated. Now, this is a new normal thanks to keto. So, how do you make keto sustainable? Very simple. Ignore everyone who's telling you to count your calories, your carbs, and track all what you eat using food tracking apps. If you do that, you'll most likely end up being fed up with all this new keto diet and you will quit very soon. Does it sound sustainable, recording every bite of food that you eat for the rest of your life? It sounds unsustainable and unrealistic. You need to learn how to recognize your body's signals, and it will be a lot easier when you eat only natural whole foods and stop eating refined carbohydrates that drive hunger and cravings. The secret to feeling full and satisfied is eating foods that are high in nutrients and that are calorie dense, and making sure your meals contain enough fiber, fat, and protein. This will naturally result in feeling full for longer than after eating a bowl of white rice, let's say. Refined carbs make you want to eat more and make you hungry sooner after your meals. Will you lose weight without counting your calories and eating only when you're hungry and stopping when you're full? Eating more fat. Yes, you will. Studies show even with a higher number of calories, people on the keto diet lose more weight than people on the low-fat diet. This happens because keto puts you in a fat-burning mode. You expend more calories, on average 300 extra calories a day, by simply following keto. So forget about counting calories. Your body will do the math for you. To lose weight, you simply need to follow your body and eat only natural whole foods that are keto approved. Now, what foods to eat and what foods to avoid to help you to start a low-carb keto diet correctly. Avoid all the grains and grain products, sugar, fruit, refined vegetable oils, artificial sweeteners, and other starchy foods. Avoid foods such as pasta, rice, bread, oats, quinoa, lentils, chickpeas, beans, bananas, oranges, apples, ice cream, diet sodas, regular sodas, breakfast cereal, whole grains, refined grains, other starchy foods such as potatoes. You have to avoid anything that is high in sugar or high in starch, but that doesn't mean that you don't eat any vegetables. There are plenty of low-carb keto vegetables that are all low in starch. The best low-carb keto veggies include broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, bell peppers, tomatoes, avocados, celery, cucumber, courgettes, aubergine, green beans, Brussels sprouts, leeks, spinach, and kale. You should eat these non-starchy veggies with each of your meals. I see many people not eating any vegetables on the keto diet and replacing them with fillers such as low-carb bread, which simply makes keto a lot less healthy. And you can have carrots, onions, butternut squash, and beets in small amounts sometimes. These are higher in starch, but are still quite low in carbs and can be consumed on a low-carb keto diet. If you need to add half an onion to your soup or your beef stew, it's totally fine. And it's okay to occasionally switch between low-carb and a low-carb keto diet. It's great if you can stick with a strict keto diet with 50 grams of carbs a day for the rest of your life, but if you do want some more variety in your diet, you can occasionally include some more carbs and have 60 or even 70 grams of carbs a day. Most importantly, you should make a low-carb eating your new lifestyle and learn how to live without sugar and other high-carb foods. Then the best keto fruits include berries and lemons. Tomatoes, avocados, and olives are also considered to be fruits, but I included them in the non-starchy veggies. I don't know what about you, but I would call them vegetables, not fruits. And you can have berries such as currants, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, and blueberries daily. Add them to your smoothies or your desserts. Then the best keto sweeteners are stevia, monk fruit, and erythritol, and I recommend getting them minimally processed and organic where possible. These free keto sweeteners are safe and healthy, and they don't raise your blood glucose or insulin. Stay away from artificial sweeteners such as aspartame or sucralose. Then the best keto fats and oils include grass-fed butter, ghee, extra virgin coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, and avocado oil. Feel free to eat olives, avocados, high-quality cheese. These are all great sources of fat. Then the best keto protein sources include beef, pork, lamb, fatty fish, chicken with the skin, duck, organ meats, and eggs. Just remember, animal protein sources must be either grass-fed, organic, or wild. What animals eat determines the nutritional composition and the overall healthiness of their products. You can't afford organic meat? Eat mainly small, wild, oily fish such as anchovies or sardines, or organic eggs. That's not too expensive. Now let's get to the meal example part. I'll show you a couple of my clean keto meal examples that are so easy to prepare. For breakfast, I typically have a keto coffee, which is a coffee with butter, coconut oil, and stevia blended together, and I have it with a piece of dark chocolate. Then I have another keto coffee closer to noon. Then I have lunch, which is typically some raw non-starchy veggies, a salad with bell peppers or tomatoes and greens, olive oil, and a serving of meat, fish, or eggs. And I have some cheese, olives, or some fermented veggies on the side. Then for dinner, I normally have some cooked veggies like broccoli, cauliflower, green beans or courgettes, together with organic meat such as pork or beef, and I add some grass-fed butter to my veggies. And I have a smoothie with organic greens such as kale or spinach and half a lemon, and 1 or 2 kefir desserts with organic kefir, stevia, berries and chia seeds. And I might have a matcha green tea during the day. And then some days I skip breakfast, I have only coffee with a dash of cream, or sometimes I skip dinner, I might just prolong my fast. And hey, I'm not counting anything, I'm in ketosis and I feel great. Keto doesn't have to be overcomplicated, so keep it simple. I hope you have a good idea of how to start a keto diet in 2021. And if you're seeing eating veggies as something unrealistic and thinking about them makes you feel sick, keep in mind that your taste receptors will change, so give it some time and be open-minded about trying new meals. And if you've enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell to not miss out on any of my future videos. I also coach people online, so if you need help starting a low-carb keto diet correctly, feel free to join my keto program, the link provided in the description of this video. Also, check out my other useful videos about keto. Some of them should appear on the screen right now. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.